Okay, hey everyone, this is Kevin and Randall from Divorce Strong. We just want to jump online and do about, a little short video about coming into the Christmas holidays, the holiday period. For some of you, this may be the first holiday period that you're going through the separation and divorce, or for some of you, it may be, you've been here before, but you're still kind of in the same position individually. So we kind of break it up into two. We'll kind of first go into how it is the first time around, and then we'll talk about how it is for those of you that have been here before but are still kind of feeling the same way. So to just kind of give a little background, I guess, Randall, maybe me and you should kind of both briefly talk about how it was for our first time, just so these guys can connect, especially if we have anyone new that's watching us. So for me, just briefly, my separation began about 3 or 4 months before Christmas time, and I was living with my friend, and I was kind of like, okay, well, I don't. Yeah, and my family was back home in England, about 8 hours on the plane, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to go back there because I can't deal with the questions and all of this stuff. I'll just be fine by myself. And then my better sense of judgment kind of took a hold and said, no, no, my friend's going to be away during Christmas Day. I'm going to go back home. I'm just going to spend it with them. If they ask questions, I'll just kind of get through it. But it was just more important for me to spend time with people. Even if you kind of feel awkward or uncomfortable, having people around is definitely better than not having anyone. And it definitely worked out better. Yes, there were some questions and some awkward times, but it definitely helped, especially on that Christmas morning, waking up and not being alone. It was definitely very important. But I definitely know how it is to make those difficult decisions and how it is during those difficult times. Randall, maybe a brief summary from yourself, if you can think back those many years for you now, just around that first holiday period.
Right. No, really well said. And again, just to add a caveat here, our goal is to give useful tools how to get through these when the situation comes up. So we're in the States, we have Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, etc. For me, the first blow, if you will, was Thanksgiving, and I can get into all the drama, that whatever, but it was a challenge. My family is not in the area where we were, where we are. So, I did a little bit of drinking and did my thing. It was not fun, but between Thanksgiving and Christmas is when I saw that I needed to make a change and recalibrate. Okay, so basically, it was a tough run. I wish people are around like we're around for people now, honestly, because back then or even now, it's hard to find, beyond just talking about the situation and its effects on you. How do you deal with this other than these kind of basic, broad approaches? So that's what I would say.
Okay, so let's kind of go into that advice then, right? Let's say let's talk about a couple of different scenarios then. Let's say some guy has just or lady has just gone for a separation, and they're living in let's say a motel room or a hotel room, and they're
Mm,
all by themselves,
yeah.
and they don't want to go through that awkward situation of kind of meeting up with anyone. So they're adamant that they're going to
Mm.
stay during the Christmas period, let's say Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, by themselves, and nothing we say is going to change their minds from it. How do you think they should get through those couple of days? Are there any kind of like check marks? Are there any like a checklist of, make sure you do these things to get through that day by yourself? And then I'll come in with a few as well once you've given your advice.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. How's my camera? Can you
Much
check
better,
that?
yeah.
Um, I think if you look at a bird's eye view of this, in general, they're phases, right? Where you hear about it and you're hit hard. You have to give yourself space to breathe and take that sadness in. It's going to happen. You're human. You might go for a cocktail or not, or splurge. I know there's some behavior there that probably isn't that healthy, but you want to give yourself room to engage in that and just get it over with if that's something that's coming through for you. But it comes back to the same stuff. It's spiritual warrior stuff where you're watching after your physical self, your diet, maybe take a cold shower to snap yourself out of it. But I would say most importantly, I would have, let's just pick three things. I'll pick three things. The self journaling. And by that, I mean, you could free write and not even look at it. We've talked about that 100 times, just free writing to write things out or journal it, put all your crap out there. She did this. I can't believe this happened. That's all right. You're human. Go through that, kind of take out the garbage. Meditation or just sitting still with yourself and breathing. And when these waves come on, just being able to breathe and work through those. We've helped a lot of clients with that. It's very useful, but it does need some background. You should talk to us about that because it's more than just suffering. You're actually strengthening yourself. And then thirdly, I would say, again, melding the mental, emotional, physical. I would do the following. I would do a plank in the morning, free writing, and you say you don't want to see anybody. I get that, but it doesn't hurt to reach out to a friend, So those are the three things I would jump on.
Okay. I think all of that's great. And I think I'm not going to give three things, but what I'm going to say is before you get to that day, my advice would be to plan out the entire day. Because even though like exercise and stuff makes you feel great, like I remember days when I would go to a gym and I'll be on the treadmill, which I hate to do, but I'm on the treadmill for like 5-10 minutes and I'm, hopping up and down. I'm feeling great. And I feel, okay, I'm feeling really good right now. But then you finish the treadmill, you get in the car, you go back home, those endorphins, the whole effect is faded away, and then you're back to feeling really low again. So I think it's really important to plan a structure for the entire day. So that could be incorporating some of the stuff that Randall's just mentioned. Getting up, doing some physical activity between 9 and 9:30. I'm going to journal, and then jump in a cold shower. Send some emails to some friends, whatever it is. What's your favorite movie or something? I'm going to do some work. So I think that's my advice. I think my advice would be to make sure that you plan ahead and just so you have a whole day of structure. And because ultimately what you're probably going to try and do, if you're adamant that you don't want to connect with anyone, you just want to be by yourself, the whole purpose of that is trying to get through the day and just get through Christmas period and a holiday period, and then you're done. Then you can restart. So if that's the case, having a structure so you're not kind of sat there by yourself is probably really important to do. Randall, do you have anything else in that? Otherwise, I can go to another kind of side topic here.
Right. I would just caveat that with that's great suggestion, the structure, because Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, the weekend, the stores could be closed. Nobody's out there with family in another city. So Kevin's right. You got to mount up and see this as a challenge to yourself to get through and grow through it, as we say.
Yeah, because also part of that structure, you may have to structure that in advance, guys, because some of that stuff you may not have with you yet. So let's say
Gym's closed.
Gym is close. So you want to be able to have some dumbbells with you, or if it's like, okay, I really want to read a book, plan ahead and get that book that you want. I think I did this. Plan that book, get it in advance. If you want to watch your favorite movie of yours, it's going to take your mind off things. Do you have the Blu-ray or DVD? If not, make sure the streaming service has it.
You're dating yourself.
Get the Blu-ray or whatever it is, right? Let's do a side topic now. And let's say there's someone
Kevin, watch our, what?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is not shameless promotion because I would do it if I was back in time. I didn't know me. I would you can put our videos on. What do we have? Like 30 of them? I would watch those.
You've got probably over 100, but I know we've done at least 5. and we talk about similar stuff like this. In fact, we also talk about stuff which is useful for once you get over these hurdles, such as, you know, dating, things like that. Again, what if they're going through the divorce and they know it's done, it's going that way, and on Christmas Day they decide, you know what, I'm going to do like an online dating profile or things like this. Do you think that's a good idea to do that on that day, or do you think it would make them feel worse? Kind of opening their mind to, okay, I'm going to start, you know, on this online dating profile.
It's
What do
a
you think?
it's a very deep question. That's worth a whole hour. But I think before you put yourself, why are you doing it? Why am I doing it? Because I need someone to fill me up.
Mm.
Just be honest about it. Or am I ready to share myself? I mean, I'm going through this now and I'm out of the woods for years. But be honest with yourself. Because if you're saying, okay, oh, she looks great. She likes the beach. She likes it. She'll fill me up. Dude, you're just going to have the same problem. You cannot listen to me, but the same thing's going to happen. Are you expressing yourself to her and sharing her or him, whatever? Or are you just looking to fill a hole? Now, if you're just looking to fill a hole, go on Tinder. That's fine. You can do that and be upfront about it, and that's healthy too. But I think for self growth, which we're into, I would say I'm less concerned about what they do when with the why and accepting that. You know what? I'm not quite there yet, but I want to meet some people and that kind of thing. Does that ring at all?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I just thought I'd throw it out there as
No,
I
it's
think it's certainly something that people would think about doing. Uh,
yeah.
and as I was talking about and as I was listening to you, my advice would probably actually be no to that. Because if I remember back in those times, and you do the online dating profile and you're sending your messages out there, and if you're not getting any responses back, it's just going to make you even feel even lower than you are already. So let's go to another question then. Let's say the person going through the divorce is by themselves during that day or during those period of days, and then they suddenly think, okay, you know what? I want to reach out to someone. You know, I want to get in touch with a friend or a family member or a work colleague if you're close to them, whatever. Do you think there's any criteria that people should use when deciding who to contact? Because I don't know if you've had this you probably did, but like it's like you kind of feel, okay, this is my great buddy. I'm gonna reach out to them for advice, but then you realize actually they're a great guy, but they're probably not the best person to speak to about this. Do you have any personal experience that you want to share, or is it just like
Yeah.
general advice?
Yeah, I mean, I've had friends who it's like, what are they going to say? Yeah, it sucks. She's this, she's that. Um, no, I would say in general, I don't know, dude. I mean, first of all, a lot of people watching this, they're so much in a fog and so much in a swamp of upset that nothing's even permanent. That's why I like to give them firm things like sit your ass down and free write, plan out the day, like Kevin's saying. So, um, I think just go with it because sometimes you just need that. You need that camaraderie and talking to people, and you um, kind of intrinsically know who's going to support you and who's not. You may run into somebody like, look, like my dad is a no BS guy, right? It's like, look, it's done. Handle it. That's the conversation, which in
Right.
the end is a good one. But then oh, honey, or your friends or things like that. But I can tell you that, look, I'm not telling you that it's doesn't feel good or that it's necessarily unhealthy, but there's sugar donut world, which is she's such a whatever. I can't believe you're a great guy. That's all has its time, but that it's not going to help you grow at all, right? I mean, you need to move beyond victimhood and all that we know. So there are phases to it. Just understand, I'm getting some sugar right now and it's going to wear off.
I think the phases thing is very important because I someone asked me for advice. They know someone that's going through a separation, and they were telling me what they were telling that person. And I said, That's good advice. The advice was basically, oh, just don't listen to what they're saying, just get through the day. And I said to them, that's good advice for now, but at a certain point in time, the person that's going through the divorce is going to want to pay attention to these negative things that person, that their ex-partner is saying to them, because that may very well help them get over them in the future. It will take away from that mindset of, oh, but they're really great at heart. I know they're being really awful to me right now, but no, they really are a good person.
Mhm.
You have to remember those things that, if they're being really negative to you, they may have great qualities. Doesn't mean they're always a great person, though. And if they're not being a great person to you, then that's all that matters. Right?
You're talking about the spouse, ex-spouse, or your friend?
The express. So basically,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
two
yeah,
people
yeah.
getting divorced. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I know how it works. I would use the word, and it's interesting, if you watch my videos from the early days, how I've migrated to different thought patterns, but I like the word conscious and unconscious. She's a person, man. I mean, doing the best she can. I know she might have done some stupid, nasty stuff and be offensive, but that's just unconscious behavior, just like we do it at times. So that'll help you move past things. A lot of our clients and people who inquire with us, um, they just want to be heard in phase one. It's like that victim phase, and that's healthy. But if you want to get out of that and you don't want to repeat it, then listen to us and watch our videos and set up a call with us, especially going into this rough phase, because you need somebody who's going to throw you a line to you while you're at the bottom of the well looking up. That's my friend Dan uses that term. Um, and put do what you need to do. You want to go for a drink, you want to complain, Victor, that's fine. I get it. But either get somebody at the gym to kick your ass a little bit or call us. But if you're going to contact us, be willing to work. We're here to listen, absolutely. But our interest is in people who are like, look, I'm not there yet. I'm not even sure I want to be there yet, but I want to be there. Even that phase, right? But if you're in kind of, I just can't see my way out. Can you believe she did that? That's in the dumping phase. There's nothing wrong with that. Just understand where you are. I went off on a tangent, but I'm excited for people who are like, all right, I'm in a shitstorm. Watch my, pardon my French, but I want to get out, and I'm willing to take a look at that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And going back to to add on to the phases topic, for those of you watching this video, click on the other videos. Like I think if you click on a certain link, will show you all the thumbnails for the videos. Scroll down to the bottom, which I think Randall, you started this about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that, and watch Randall's transformation. Maybe like the first few videos, you're sitting down, you're in front of a table. I think there's a Bruce Lee picture behind you or something, and you're down in the dumps, right? You're very much down in the dumps, and it's important for people to watch those videos and then maybe like skip forward a couple of years and they'll watch one of those, and you'll see a transformation in Randall.
Yeah.
And really, that's the transformation that we try to do with clients of our own, right? So as Randall's mentioned, drop us an email, divorcestrong@yahoo.com, if you wanna chat. So I think in regards to the holidays, I think we've given hopefully some good advice to people. Randall's mentioned, well, I've mentioned the whole thing about making sure you structure the day ahead of time so you have things available to do and you have the tools that you need to do those things. So for example, if you want to do exercise, but you don't want to go out anywhere, maybe it's too cold to go out anywhere, that's fine too. So if you want to exercise, make sure you have an exercise mat with you or dumbbells with you or whatever you need. And then Randall's giving you some great tips of specifics of what you can do during that time of structure. Randall, is there anything else you want to touch on before we jump off here?
Yeah. I want to return back and talk to the guys, and with your great take as well on this, the guys who are in the storm or about to enter it. Maybe they're not in right now, but next week they are. and it's like everything's all over that. Because when we talk about set a structure, call this person, don't call that person, I think sometimes they get lost in the fog, and they really just want to make sure that it's going to be okay. A lot of people who contact us just want to be with people who've gone through it. First, you're going to be okay. You're going to grow through this, not go through it. That's your mantra, and that's your choice. Okay, so mantra is useful too. I got this. I'm growing through this. I don't know how, but I'm growing through it, not just going through it. So you can make up your own mantra. Understand that you will be fine. It's going to be uncomfortable, but the more you can balance going through this discomfort, the stronger dividends will be produced at the end of it. Okay, so it's time to step up to the challenge, because this has been given to you for you, not to you. It's for you. It's not being done to you. I know that sounds airy-fairy and everything, but that's the attitude you need. Especially, I'm talking to the parents out there. If you have kids, if you want to leave them the most beautiful thing, forget all the money and crap and all that and toys. Be someone stable, focused, and able to handle these things, and they will see that and intrinsically soak it up. That's the greatest gift, and I would say your obligation to do that. And for those of you not there yet, it's your obligation to yourself. On my end, closing, look, reach out to us at divorcestrong@yahoo.com, and let's see what we can do together and get you up to the next level. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw in one last piece of advice for that holiday period as well. For the people that don't want to contact anyone, feel uncomfortable speaking to friends or family right now, is throw on some stuff on YouTube. If it's not our videos, throw on something where it's, you know, kind of some form of inspirational speaking. Les Brown is very good. That's probably one of my favorites. And he does these kind of hosting these presentations where he's just talking. And just imagine he's talking to you, and you can go around the apartment or the home, whatever, and do your thing, but at least that has some sound. So it's like, even if it's just background noise for you, it's just something that makes you feel like you're not alone. Okay, so that would be my advice. And yeah, you know, look, obviously you can leave comments in the comment section. And we'll always respond. You know, we'll always make sure that we respond to those questions or comments. Give us ideas too for, you know, other videos that you want. You know, if you're kind of thinking, okay, well, this is great, gets for the holiday period, but if there's other things that you want to know about, whether it's dating again or how to deal with certain problems, or, you know, drop us a comment or drop us an email at divorcestrong@yahoo.com, and we'll jump on a call with you. You know, sometimes when people watch YouTube, they're like, okay, well, these are real people, but I can't communicate with them. Yeah, you can. You know, just drop us an email. Worst case scenario, you will get a response. But worst case scenario, if we're not real, you don't get a response. You didn't waste it, right? So there you go. So that's it for me. Rand, I think we're good.
That was really great. I enjoyed that, and we'll talk to everybody soon.
All right, reach out, guys. Take care. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Yes.